gliomas. We had a case of a 4-year-old boy who presented with generalized tonic-clonic seizures. The CT scan showed well-defined solid cystic heterogeneously hyperdense SOL in the temporoparietal lobe measuring 2.2 into 2.3 centimeters. So the H&E slide here, this one shows the glial tissue here being infiltrated by these sheets of small round cells with high NC ratio and hyperchromatic pleomorphic nuclei. So here in the high power we see a patternless sheet of small round hyperchromatic pleomorphic cells. So we did the immunohistochemistry which showed focal CD99 positivity, patchy synaptophysin positivity. The tumor was positive for vimentin and patchy S100 positive. So the diagnosis was an embryonal tumor, NOS, WHO grade 4. So the postulated derivation is from primitive neuroepithelial precursors. Usually these tumors have a peak incidence in the early years of life and they have an aggressive clinical biology and they are dominated by small anaplastic cells apparently uncommitted to any particular cytogenetic pathway. And they have a capacity to differentiate along neuronal, glial and mesenchymal lines. But there is a controversy in nomenclature of these complex neoplasms. Based on the specific cell types and recognizable stages of neuroembryogenesis, like for medulloepithelioma, because it resembles primitive medullary epithelium of the neural tube, it is named so. Ependymoblastoma, because it differentiates along the ependymal lines. So molecular based approach has been adopted by the 2016 WHO scheme. The generic PNET designation has now been abandoned, although the new term of embryonal neoplasm NOS has been introduced, either for tumors which are not evaluated beyond basic histopathology or defy a more specific designation even after genetic studies. So we have under these we have the medulloblastomas, the atypical teratoid rhabdoid tumor, embryonal tumor with multilayered rosettes, C19MC altered, CNS neuroblastoma, ganglioneuroblastoma, pineoblastoma. So this is how you classify the embryonal tumors. Embryonal tumors, main we have the medulloblastomas which have the different genetic classifications. Then we have the medulloblastomas which can be classified histologically as classic, desmoplastic with extensive nodularity and large cell anaplastic. Then we have the embryonal tumor with multilayered rosettes, C19MC altered. Then we have the NOS category, we have the medulloepithelioma, the CNS neuroblastoma, the CNS ganglioneuroblastoma, and the atypical teratoid rhabdoid tumor, and CNS embryonal tumor with rhabdoid features. So medulloblastoma, it is a WHO grade 4 neoplasm. It is capable of differentiating around glial as well as neuronal lines. It is a latter option that is far more frequently exercised. While overt ganglion cell maturation is exceptional, the overwhelming majority of medulloblastomas exhibit at least focal immunostaining for synaptophysin. Reliable indices of neuronal differentiation are pale islands and the homoerite rosettes. Homoerite rosettes are nothing but the radial arrangement of tumor cell nuclei about small tangles of fibrillar material devoid of a centering lumen. So embryonal tumor with multilayered rosettes, C19MC altered. This is this forms at least 1/3 of all the supratentorial PNAT in some series, and more than 1/3 when it is in infants under 4 years of age. And there is a strong predilection for the cerebral hemispheres, and roughly a 4th occurrence extracerebral sites. The entity often combines features of ependymyoblastoma and neuroblastoma with the embedding of ependymoblastic rosettes in an expansive matrix that is rich in synaptophysin and NFP on immunohistochemical assessment. The medulloepithelioma is the next in discussion. The medulloepithelioma is when it is not accompanied by the C19MC amplification and Lin28 positivity. It is rare but highly aggressive neoplasm that typically rises in the cerebrum of an infant or child younger than 5 years of age. Then the CNS neuroblastic tumors. They are reserved for the extracerebellar neoplasms of embryonal appearance that can be shown to differentiate solely along neuronal lines. Neuroblastomas of the central neuraxis are typified by a presentation in the first decade of life, usually prior to age 5 years, and localization to the cerebral hemispheres. Immunohistochemical assessment obviates the need for electron microscopic study if synaptophysin or NFP labeling can be demonstrated. And nuclear NUN expression also attests to differentiation along neuronal lines. Synaptophysin reactivity is by far the most sensitive, albeit less specific marker, and is typically concentrated in the fibrillar matrix. GFAP expression should primarily be limited to cells reasonably interpreted as reactive astrocytes. The next in discussion is the atypical teratoid rhabdoid tumor, which is a highly aggressive neoplasm, principally in infancy and early childhood. Adult onset examples are distinct rarities. Over 90% of the affected patients are less than 5 years of age, and nearly 50% have tumors of the cerebellum or the cerebellopontine angle, often with contiguous brainstem involvement. Supratentorial examples account for at least the 40% of cases. Neoplasms of this family typically contain at least some cells of large rhabdoid phenotype. Some have small cell elements of the primitive neuroepithelial appearance and differentiated glandular structure embedded in a neoplastic component of mesenchymal appearance.